Hey guys. So today Powell spoke some volatility into existence again, and I want to go over the trades that I took. So right here at about 12:40, right when these big blue candles started, that's when Powell started talking, and I actually longed right here as price was crossing VWAP. And this isn't a trade that I would normally take. I mean, we did get a move down into this golden pocket, and Market Cipher B was looking kind of bullish, you could say, but we didn't really get any trade confirmations that would make me normally take a trade like this. Really, the reason I took this trade is because I knew Powell was talking. I knew there was some volatility, most likely ahead, and that is kind of a dangerous thing if you feel the need to enter a trade because you think something's about to happen, you think we're about to get a big pump. More times than not, that is a dangerous thing that is going to work against you. So you could say that was slightly irresponsible on my part, sort of going against the strict rules that I try to follow as a trader, because I definitely didn't make a plan for this trade ahead of time. This wasn't a level I had marked out. This was in the middle of a range, basically. This is not an entry I would normally take. But even though I was being a little irresponsible in one sense, doesn't mean I'm going to completely disregard the trading rules that I follow. And I did have a tight window of invalidation with this trade. I did still TP early, and I stop loss to entry once we came up around these highs. So I was still trying to be responsible with this. I knew that these kind of, volatile events, whatever you want to call them, just whenever Powell opens his mouth, it can cause a lot of traders to get wrecked. This price could have easily just, came down and stopped me out even after coming up here. So I wanted to make sure I locked in my trade. I moved my stop loss to my entry once I got a little bit of profits. And this whole time I was also still hedged in a short. I'm still short from all the way up here from these highs. So if this trade ended up being a loss, I probably would have just TP'd a little bit from my short and, been done trading for this session, or at least until the volatility cooled down. But it ended up working in my favor. We got this little pump here. And another thing that kind of made me enter this trade was we saw a lot of longs open up right before Powell started to speak as we were coming down below VWAP. And this whole time we were sitting below VWAP, we didn't see any of these shorts closed, or at least most of them stayed open. And so that, along with like the 12-minute trigger waves printing and the money flow increasing, is what made me want to take this trade once we started getting a move above VWAP. And if this ended up being a trap that I fell for, I was okay with getting stopped out. Like I said, I was still making sure to keep good risk management in mind, not just with my stop loss, but also by TPing early and moving my stop loss to entry or just below entry. I think I moved it to just below VWAP, which, would have been like right down here because I avoided getting stopped out. And we did end up getting a pretty quick pump from this. We, broke the highs of this range. I TP'd more than half of my position out along the way up. And, I wish I closed more up at these highs. I was waiting for a little bit higher. I thought we may get a move into the CME gap. So, I still had some of my position open when we came down here. I got stopped out at a profit, which is completely cool. I took, not the best trade you could say, and I still ended up with a profit from it. And if I had left my stop loss where it originally was, I would have gotten stopped out anyway. And then I ended up taking another long somewhere in this area, and I didn't get the best entry on that one. I was actually making eggs when we got this dump. I was, waiting all day for some volatility. I didn't eat yet, so started making some eggs, and then my trade got stopped out. So I pulled up the charts, and I saw that we got a move down to the value area low. Now, again, this wasn't really a trade I was planning for in advance. The levels I was watching were either the lows that we put in over here or the levels I talked about in my last Bitcoin video, basically these lows of this range. But this does still fit into my strategies. We got a move down to the value area low, and we got some very interesting bullish divergences on some of these time frames. You can see on the 24-minute, this green dot printed above the 0 line. You know, this move happened so quick. The momentum wave didn't even have time to come down. And when you look at the 12-minute, same thing. This green dot printed at the 0 line. We were seeing some, bullish divergences across most time frames. And over on Coinalyze, we also saw a massive decrease in open interest, both shorts getting stopped out with this pump and then longs getting stopped out on this way down. We saw traders getting wrecked in both directions, and so that plus the bull divs at the value area low made me want to take another long here, and I had to set a pretty large stop loss, which I was actually okay with considering I just got some profits from this long previously. So I had a little bit to play with here. I had a stop loss down below these lows. I think I entered once we started pumping up here. A little bit of a FOMO entry again. Not the most responsible entry you could say, but still I wanted to be responsible with the way I handled it. So I set a stop loss I was comfortable with. Again, I'm still in a short, so if I got stopped out at a loss, I probably would have just TP'd from that. And those divergences ended up playing out. We got a pretty decent move to the upside here, and I'm still in this long. I actually ended up adding to it somewhere in here, moving my entry up right below VWAP. So I was basically using VWAP as an invalidation. I had my stop loss at my entry, and I managed to not get stopped out yet. So yeah, I usually say be careful trading during these volatility events, the Fed meetings and all that, because it's dangerous times. A lot of people can get sliced up, especially if you're being irresponsible in multiple ways. If you're not just FOMOing into trades like I was, but you're also using poor risk management. You're also not taking profits when you get them. You're also not locking in your entry. It is really easy to get wrecked during these times. So right now I'm looking at this CME gap up here. We also got this golden pocket right above these highs that I may be looking to short if we keep seeing a move up here. I am still holding this short up here. I'm looking to hold this for potentially lower if we end up losing this larger range. So if I can get another short position that I can TP on more aggressively, I would like to do that for if we end up just getting a move down to like the lows of the range again before coming back up. I also like this little zone around that 786 and NDPOC. I like the fact that my stop loss and my entry for my short is also above that level, so I got that sort of protecting my short. And now I'm still hedged in this long. I'm still looking for longs from the low of this range too. I'm still interested in potentially stopping out everyone that's been longing this way up, who probably have their stop losses down below here. And for now we are still trading in this pretty large range right now. There have been lots of good trade opportunities. This is a pretty wide range, so there's been lots of good trades the past couple weeks. And I don't know what else to talk about. I'm kind of just rambling now. But anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Really appreciate the support. And I'll see you all on my next one.